Hello, good morning. My name is Specialist Vargas, and today we're going to be talking about stewardship of the Army profession. So, for today, our overall risk assessment here is low. We are in an indoor environment, but be cognizant of your surroundings. Make sure you don't fall, you don't trip over anything, any wires, any loose cables. Before we leave today, I want to make sure everybody here pushes in their chairs, clears off their tables, and picks up any trash they brought in with them and that was here. Take it out. You guys are adults. I know you guys can do this. Okay. Our classification for today's course is unclassified, so just be aware of that. Our task, standards, and condition are basically, our task today is learning about stewardship of the Army profession. Our conditions is nice. We are inside, like I said, we're not gonna get no heat stroke, no heat casualties. We got some AC going around. If you need some water, go ahead and go around the corner and get something from the water fountain. If you have to go ahead and sneeze and cough, just cover your mouths. We are, like I said, we're adults here, and just make sure you cover your mouth. And if you have to go use the bathroom's on the corner over there. As well as our standards for today, I want to make sure that everybody walks away from class understanding the importance of stewardship of the Army profession. So, for further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So, to start off with, the objective for today's class is stewardship, what is profession, maintain the trust, Army values, and of course the conclusion. So those papers I passed out earlier, can anybody go ahead and read to me what is stewardship of the Army profession? Exactly. Thank you so much, Jim. So yes, stewardship of the Army profession is basically, stewardship is the duty of all U.S. Army leaders that is entrusted by the American public to protect the people, the resources, and the Army family. So let's quickly break that down for me. So when we look at American public, basically we are gaining the trust of the American people, knowing that we will do our job and we will do it in a professional manner. So we are protecting the people and we're protecting the Constitution and their rights. Resources. Resources is a very broad term, but basically to break it down and simplify it, we are protecting our environment, we're protecting our drill hall, we're protecting any military bases you are at. Your responsibility to make sure you are always aware of your surroundings, make sure your weapons are always secured, have any vehicles locked up, make sure your sensitive items are put away. And then the next one will be Army family. So we are family here. We're not just different ethnicities, we're not just different backgrounds, different people, different shades. We put this uniform on, we are one. We are family. Anything you do with me, I trust you just like anybody can trust. Stewardship ensures that the Army remains a trusted and profession to both today and tomorrow. So that means that whenever you put this uniform on, somebody's going to be watching you and knowing and seeing what you're doing. Nowadays, not much trust is left with the police officers, and some people are always looking at the military as also being a problem as well, but we are not that. We are professionals whenever we wear this uniform, and we will remain professionals no matter what we do. So let's go ahead and break down the words. So can anybody go ahead and read what is the definitions of stewardship? You? Exactly. So stewardship is basically protecting and supervising an organization or a property. So like I explained earlier, it is our responsibilities to make sure we are watching our surroundings, protecting our environment, protecting our American people, protecting the rights of for the people in the Constitution. But not just that. For us to be able to even achieve this, we have to also maintain ourselves and maintain the area. So as soldiers, we have to make sure we are maintaining our equipment, make sure that we are maintaining our physical readiness. We have to make sure we're maintaining our weapons qualifications, make sure that we are maintaining our trust with each other, and also maintaining our training. That is a responsibility, is to make sure that whenever we are tasked to do something that involves artillery, we are immediately ready to go no matter what we do. Okay? Can anybody go ahead and explain to me in your own words what is a profession whenever you hear the word? Yes, I agree as well. So yes, a profession is basically somebody who has gotten formal training or qualifications. Now, when I hear the word profession, my first assumption is basically doctor, lawyer, mechanic, plumber, but it's a bit more broad than that. We are soldiers, meaning we are in a profession. We went through formal training as well. We went through basic training for 8 to 9 weeks. We went through advanced individual training, which was sometimes a few weeks to almost a year. So we did the same thing, formal training and qualifications. And be proud that not many people can even do what we do. We're only the 1% Americans out there that actually could even be in the military. So just be aware that not everybody can do it. and be proud that you put this uniform on. Also, make sure that whenever you're wearing this, you also have to make sure you adhere to the 5 characteristics of the army profession. And we're going to go through that right now. So, as you can see, I only have how many in here? 4. Because stewardship is part of the 5 characteristics of the army profession. And we're going to start off with one of the most important ones as well, is trust. Trust is placed upon us by the American people, but also by the U.S. Army and as a professional organization. So whenever a person sees me, they can trust me to know that I am doing and I am supposed to be where I'm at. So make sure that you keep that trust. Make sure that you're not acting a fool like when you're out on public, like if you leave on a Sunday, you're wearing your PC wrong, wearing your top around your waist. You never know, but there's always somebody watching, and you want to make sure that they can trust you whenever something comes down to it. Military expertise. So very important that we like I said, we only train once a month, but that doesn't mean it stops from there. We have to make sure we are physically training ourselves, mentally training ourselves by reading and updating ourselves with the new updates to our weapons, our equipment. You know, when I started off with the 13 Delta. I haven't changed it more. It just changed. It changed to 13 Juliets. For many of the Bravos who are here, we left the old guns into now M777 howitzers, and that's a lot of training. So we gotta consistently train ourselves. But as leaders, it is not just training ourselves, training everybody around you. So your section, your chiefs, they have to make sure they train you, and then all the way it trickles down, like a trickle-down effect. So if you see a specialist who has the potential of getting promoted, or a private who's a motivated private, you take that soldier and you train him. Make sure you mold him into the next soldier and in a professional way as well. Spirit de Corps. We have been through a lot of things as the American U.S. Army. You know, many wars have come and gone, but we are still here. So understand that there was one war that I always think about when I see this is basically World War II. During World War II, before we got attacked by Pearl Harbor, we only had several 100,000 at the time active duty soldiers. Now, whenever that happened, a lot of people decided to go ahead and join the military when Pearl Harbor happened. And it wasn't not just because of what happened. They pushed away their differences to do one thing, and that is to fight for America. That was including Mexicans, African Americans, Asians, Japanese Americans, especially those whose family were sent to internment camps. A lot of them decided to join because they wanted to prove that they love this country that much. And this as well, honorable service, the devotion and duty in defense of a nation consent with the Army ethic. Not only did they join the military, did they wear the uniform, but they did it in a professional manner. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we adhere to the Army values, the warrior ethos, and Army profession. So you guys have seen this before. I'm pretty sure in basic it was drilled into us almost daily. So what does this acronym, what does you see when you see the words? Yes? You? Leadership, exactly. That's what I see too. Leadership right here. And this is pretty much a perfect representation of what every leader should have inside. Loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Sorry, it's been a minute. But these qualities are very important for any soldier to adhere to, but not just when you're wearing the uniform, when you're out in the civilian world, when you're going home. Integrity, honor, duty. That's all the things you need to think about. Integrity, especially for me, is very important because I want to make sure that the soldier that I'm going to train, or the soldier who is my battle buddy, that I can trust him to do the task if I was to ever have passed it down to him, or he can trust me as well. So that's very important to me, is integrity. Trust and maintaining trust. So trust is a crucially important attribute to have, but we also know that trust is easy to break. And not too long ago, if anybody can tell me, what war did trust became kind of blurred? Yes, the Vietnam War. So in Vietnam War, the American people lost trust in the U.S. Army because of us drafting a lot of the young men to fight in a war that not many were even understanding why we were there. And of course, during that time, a lot of people were saying that the war was for a good cause. Many of those who came back after the war didn't see that. And a lot of people lost trust and faith in the military. Now we've gained that trust, and not many countries can say that. A lot of countries say now that a lot of them don't trust their American military. Right now, you can walk outside and you ask them, do you trust your American military? And here, a lot of them will say yes. And that's good, but our responsibility is to maintain that, no matter even whether we are in uniform or we're without uniform. So in conclusion, we've learned today stewardship of the Army profession, Stewards is basically to care for the people, the Constitution, and for our Army family. Make sure that you guys are always watching out for each other. Ask questions if you want to know if anything is going on with your personal lives. Maintain that relationship. Maintain training as well. With changes coming up with ACFT and IWQ, I want to make sure we're ready so whenever something happens, we're ready to go. Army profession as well, on duty and off duty, we need to be on top of our game and be cognizant of who's around us. So we need to have the Army values integral at any time. So whenever you're wearing this uniform, be professional, and whenever you're a civilian, be professional, because you never know who's watching you. You represent the Army no matter what. Maintain trust with your family and the American people. Yes, so like I said, I want to be able to trust you and always know that you're going to watch my back like I would watch your back, but the people are going to be always watching us as well to see what we're going to do, okay? Any questions for today? No? Thank you guys so much. You guys were an amazing class. I really appreciate you guys. If we have any other questions, definitely meet me after class. Other than that, enjoy your weekend. Thank you guys.